A very good day everybody and welcome at E36 and E46 vlog 61 Disa fix. In this vlog I'm going to do a modification to the Disa valve unit. I'm going to install a Rattle repair kit. I'm going to show you that later. The first thing when you want to replace your Disa unit or you want to install a Rattle repair kit, when you get the Disa unit out, pay very close attention to this pin. What can break on this Disa unit are like three things. One, your vacuum, two, your pin, and three, this can break off. The most common thing is that this pin is getting loose and it falls off. When it already falls inside your manifold, then you probably have some damage already. When it falls inside your intake manifold, when you get the Disa unit out, your engine isn't damaged yet, but I wouldn't start the BMW if I were you, and to get it out is quite some work, so pay attention this pin doesn't fall out when you get your Disa unit out. So I'm going to show you a movie how I get it out. It's quite easy, but the second thing I'm going to do when the Disa unit is out is to check if this vacuum pot is still working. The thing is, the Rattle repair kit is quite easy to install. To get this one loose, it breaks off, it damages from the inside. When this is happening, when this is broken, you probably need a new Disa unit. I saw some guys who replaced it, but I saw more guys who damaged it. So what I advise is, when you have problems with your Disa unit, buy an OEM one first. I bought this one like 4 years ago, and then afterwards you don't have to get it right away, but install a Rattle repair kit, and then you should be fine, because this will never, almost never going to fill again, and the vacuum pot is also good. So how you can check it is there's a little hole over here. So what you should do is put your finger on it. First get this in position, then put your finger on it, and I don't know if you can see it good. Yeah, like this. If you let it loose, it moves a little bit, but it should stuck. Like you can see, it stucks a little. And when you let it loose, it moves. So once again, in position, put it there, and when you get it loose, it should move only a little bit, like this. And then when you get it loose, boom. So this one looks pretty fine. The first thing when I noticed when I got it out, it's still pretty clean. You see it's a mess a little bit over here. I'm going to clean that later. I see a lot of guys saying, yeah, the previous owner put some liquid sealant here and there, everywhere. This one is original BMW and only 4 years old. So this one hasn't been in a E46 for about 20 years. This like a few years ago, so pretty new. And this is OEM, so you should take this off later and get the new O-ring on. But this is normal. What I also see is that guys put the ring on and keep the liquid sealant on. I don't think you should do that, but I'm going to check that and study that, if we should do that, yes or no. I think I'm going to get it off, and I'm going to show you later how it works. So my vacuum pot is still working. This looks pretty fine. Actually, when you see this one, it looks like it's all okay. But when you hear, I don't know if you can hear this. This is what I hear when I drive. And you only hear it between like 1500 and 2000 RPM. Probably you hear the sound when it's on higher RPM, but you can't hear that. So when you're at the traffic light, you hear this sound. The guy who painted the side of the E46, he said when I stopped at the traffic light, I hear something moving, and we couldn't figure out which bolt it was, so it was the Disa unit. So how you can see or notice when your Disa valve unit needs a repair or a replacement. At your low RPMs you lose some horsepower. This one's still pretty good intact. The more it's broken, the more sounds it make, and also it kicks out fault codes in your computer. So it's quite important that this one is good, not only for the working of your car and for the fault codes, but also because this pin can kill your engine. So I'm going to show you the movie later how I got it out. It's like quite easy. It's only 2 torques. I've got them here, and it's with T40. So it's a pretty big one, and of course I was missing this in my toolkit. The kids got it and they didn't put it back, but luckily I found it. Then my parcel just arrived. I haven't opened it yet. I know what's in it. Is this a quick mod, yes or no? Depends. 1, is your pin fallen out? 2, was it already broken? And 3, I saw some guys who bought this Rattle repair kit, and they have to mod it because the plate didn't close the Disa valve. So if that's the case, it will take some time, and else it would be pretty quick. What I advise you guys is what I'm doing now. It's like in the afternoon when it's still light. I got the Disa unit out. I took my time for that, and what I'm going to do now in the night, I'm going to put this Rattle repair kit in the Disa unit, and I'm going to take my time for that. So the glue can harden out, and I'm going to make it all clean, of course, and it just can take my time. It's not a thing that you should rush. It's possible, of course, and you can do this in, I don't know, maybe half an hour or an hour. So I'm going to take my time for that and advise you guys to do that as well. So what's in the kit? Permanent lock, thread lock. So this is permanent lock, strength, thread locker. This is the glue that we're going to put on the stick. What's in there more? Of course, the plate, and the good thing about it, it's from aluminium, so it's not going to break off. This one is from plastic. When it gets hot and it gets cold, hot and cold, it's going to to crack, just like polyester. What's also included is the long bolt and this thing, also from aluminium. So this looks pretty nice, and you can feel it's way more solid. So the thing is, I have to check if it's exactly the same. And what I saw on the internet, on YouTube as well, is that they have to do a modification here. If they didn't do it, the Disa valve unit wasn't airtight, it didn't close good. So I hope that is not the case. I put some emails into the maker of this, and they said after 2 weeks they're going to modify it, and they said you should take out your Disa unit and try it, because some will fit and some need modifications, and I don't want to modify it. They say you can put it back, and then after 2 weeks you can order a new one, but I'm not going to do that. I need it now. I'm not going to wait until the pin falls off. So there's also rubber included. By the way, before I forget it, there are 2 types for the M45. You have it for the 2.2 and the 2.5, so that's the smaller one, and the other one is for the 330. And what you also have included, I'm going to show it all later to you, is lock ring. Of course, you can use your old one, always better to use a new one. And last but not least, some grease to put on the bottom side of the stick. Also, another tip, I see a lot of guys, they say, oh, it's grease, the more grease the better. That's not the case. Just only put the grease where it belongs. Don't put too less on it, but definitely don't put too many on it. So what I always do is I put like medium on it and then take a little bit off. So these are all parts that included in the set. It looks good, and I'm like pumped up to do this modification. It's a nice modification to do yourself, but like I said, take your time. This is called Loctite. I just couldn't get on the name. You have 3 different types. You have like the soft one, you can get it loose pretty easy, medium one, and the solid one. I don't know which one they use for the Disa valve unit. Just use the one that is supplied, so you know you have the right one. Then when we're going to clean the Disa valve unit, mine is pretty clean, you see it here, but here is a lot of grease and stuff. I advise to use the stuff you use to clean glass. Why? Because when you're going to use these wipes, I use it for my hands when they're dirty. They're pretty aggressive, the same with brake cleaner. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the aggressive ones, but not too many, and I'm going to wash them off with the glass stuff and also with water, because it is plastic and you don't want the plastic to break. So only use these ones when it's really dirty, or else just use water and soap or a glass cleaner. And if you use these ones, make sure you wash it off with water and don't use too many. So I clean it a little bit so my hands doesn't get dirty. I used some glass cleaner and like I said, just some regular water. And then the first step of your Rattle repair kit is to get this cap off. So you really have to make notice of the position all the way in the corner and how this looks. Should get back in the same position. This one, inbus number 5. With the lock ring. Okay, get this off. I'm going to check if it's the same. So the advice that they give, there's a little hole in here, and you can see it there, and you should use that as a marking point, and then it's mounted like this. Okay, so now I'm going to take this lock ring off. Okay, like I said, this one was quite new. When it's already worn out and this is loose, then you can get this one off pretty easy. This one was stuck as hell, really. So what I did is, you see a little gap over there. Put a small and a big screwdriver in there, and then voila. So trowel fit it first, and then start mounting it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to clean it up some more, and then I'm going to mount the new one. So this is what I mean with take your time for it. This has to come off before you're going to put in the new O-ring. I see a lot of guys putting the O-ring over it, and you should take it off, and to prevent air leaks and not cracking the Disa when you had to put it back in, you need to get it off. And also a second mistake that I see quite a lot is that guys put the grease on this tip, and this is the tip that's going to wear out and makes your Disa unit not react anymore. And this part is the glide part, so you have to put it only on this and not on the tip. So, like I mentioned in this vlog before, when you put in a new O-ring, you do have to get out all the liquid sealant in your Disa unit. And when you put on some effort in it, you can get everything out. So, this one is done. Then the other part where I already was afraid of. This is the OEM one. And like you can see, the top is round. And this is the new one. And like you can clearly see, this is straight. So if you already put this kit inside your Disa unit, break it open again because you need to do some modifications. On the whole internet and YouTube I found only one guy on a forum, and he said you have to do one extra step, and that's modifying this model. And he said you have to cut out this corner and one in the rear. That's because it gets stuck a little bit and it stays open, it's not airtight. So that would mean that your engine is getting extra air all the time in your system mixture. Is going to be more lean, and that's not good. Of course you don't hear the rattle because that is tightened up with Loctite and this screw. But it's not working like it's supposed to be. I'm not talking about brands inside this vlog, but I found out which company made this and I made some contact, told the story, showed the pictures, and the reply was that I had to trial fit this version. If it would fit, it would fit, and if I have to do modifications, they said I have to bring it back to the store where I bought it, and I had to wait for 2 weeks because they are going to make a new model with these modifications in it. So actually they like confirmed that this design is not like 100%. I'm not going to order it from England because England is not in the European Union anymore. So if I want to get it to the Netherlands, it's going to cost me extra money and a lot of extra time. So I'm going to do the modifications myself, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to do that tomorrow because I have to find my Dremel to do this nicely. You cannot do it too much because then it's going to come to here and you cannot tighten it anymore. So you have to do that really precise. Like I said, I'm not going to do that tonight anymore. I'm going to do it tomorrow. So talk to you guys then. And it's yet another day. I couldn't find my Dremel, so I'm going to use this drill. LJ, knock it off. And I'm going to use this bit to drill in the iron or aluminium. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trial fit it on the Disa unit, and then I'm going to mark it with tape because I'm going to get material off, but as less as possible. Zo, kijk deze. Kijk. LJ, kijk, deze boren. Zachtjes. Zachtjes een stukje afhalen. Dat is toch niet eng? Nee, is niet oud.
Ja.
Ja, toch niet erg.
Ja. Ik moet even zo. Ja, het lijkt